Hello, my fellow gamers. Happy holidays. Hope things have been going well for you. So, I'm here today discussing the magic and wonders of the Shadowlands. What the hell am I doing? For serious though, Shadowlands has come out really well. I'm surprised, honestly, especially how things have been trending in the game, how Blizzard handled BFA, other issues that they've had every now and again. They've just been struggling as a company lately, and it's kind of felt awkward. When they decided to delay Shadowlands, it was kind of a clear indication that something was going wrong, but also they cared enough to have it go right. And I think they've really seen the error of their ways. And I have to say, my Shadowlands experience right now has been pretty great. There's some things that we need to talk about. There's a couple of people complaining a lot now about gearing issues, which I don't really understand where they're coming from. There's kind of going to be a bit of a reckoning in the community right now, because the PvEers and the PvPers have been going at each other on gearing. PvPers complaining that, oh, PvEers can just go and get as many items as they want by farming out Mythic. But PvEers have been complaining that they're getting no drops in their Mythic. I mean, I think the reality of the situation is that you gotta play the entirety of the game if you're looking to get yourself some good gear. Like, you can't just focus on one piece of content that you like to do. And for me, that's the real WoW experience. Like, that's something that has been missing from the game for quite a long time. Classic players understand this. Like, there's some stuff that's in the PvP gearing that's really good that they'll want. There's some things in the PvE that they really want. And you do both forms of the content and you get what you need and you have a really powerful character at the end of the day. That's being redone in kind of a new fashion in this expansion, and I think it's fantastic. I don't really understand why so many people are going bonkers attacking each other online. It's not healthy for the game. It's going to eventually cause Blizzard to revert these changes, which have been fantastic. I think we as players just really need to come out and understand that the way the system works now is you're supposed to be playing the entirety of the game if you want to gear up your character properly. Now, that's not to say that everything in the PvP vendor is perfect. There are some classes where mastery means everything. Haste means everything. Crit means everything. But verse does very little. So you're not going to find optimal pieces of gear there. But on the other end, there are classes that want to stack nothing but versatility. Versatility in as many other stats as they can. Demon Hunter right now is in a pretty sorry state. But honestly, if you PvP geared your Demon Hunter up, it's going to be pretty powerful because it's going to have a lot of verse. You're going to be able to get a ton of haste and the right amount of crit, and you'll be doing significant damage. The state of the community right now is like, oh man, Demon Hunters are dead. There's no way they're coming back. And then all the Demon Hunters are crying, and ha ha ha, I'm so glad they're crying because they were so strong for so long. I mean, that's terrible. That's a garbage way to think of things. We shouldn't be looking at the game that way. We want every character in the game to succeed in some way or some form. That's how you have an entire community of happy gamers. And when everyone's a happy gamer, the game is much more fun. Period. Anyway, not here to chastise people. I'm not here to go on a rant and a tangent about stupid little petty nonsense that people sling online. Just, I'm here to really think about things in the Shadowlands so far that I've enjoyed, and things that I haven't enjoyed, and let's reflect on it. Right now, I have geared up 3 characters, 3 of them max level, 3 of them focusing on different pieces of content. And what I've come to realize is that none of them need to focus on different pieces of content. The game is fun in all aspects right now, and I'm having a blast. I like jumping on my paladin and running him through some dungeons and tanking some instances. It's a fantastic time. He does a lot of damage, he smashes things. His survivability is a little wonky, but that's okay. A lot more stamina down the road is going to fix those issues, and he'll be just fine. My Demon Hunter, not performing amazingly like it used to, which, okay, it's fine. It had its moment in the sun. It's a little bit on the outs right now, but the reality is it's still pretty high middle pack, especially if you're not just looking to be a tank and go Kyrian. I went Night Fae. I have the Hunt. There's fantastic gameplay where you will line up your mobs, hunt on them, get your dot on all the mobs, get your big damage out, double burst those metas. It's still fantastic to play. Still a hell of a lot of fun. My Death Knight has been an absolute blast. I've been playing that as my main at the moment. It's just smashing things. Even the way things are at the moment with the Mastery debuff, it hasn't really negatively impacted the play. It still performs really well. The only thing that I have to say is that I'm struggling to get him a weapon, and I'm farming Mythic Plus. I'm running the raid because versatility isn't the best stat for it, and I don't want my main hand weapon to be something with versatility on it. I wanted to have haste mastery, or I wanted to have crit mastery. I want to be able to pump out the big damage, but I don't want to worry about it having a terrible stat. So I haven't gone hardcore into arenas to go and get a quick item level boost. He's sitting at a 197 weapon right now, overall 212 item level, and I'm attacking mythic bosses third on the damage meter. It's not a bad spot to be. I mean, could you do better? Sure. Could you do worse? Absolutely. I'm sure whenever I do get that weapon, I'm going to be going higher, higher, and higher. I haven't been able to start pushing 15 keys because I personally feel that I'm burdensome to my party going into a 15 with an item level that low on my weapon. That's not 100% the case. Like, there are pulls where I've gotten 21 to 24k bursts on a big AoE pull, no problem. But then I'll go and we'll fight the single target on the boss, and it's only about 5 to 7k damage, depending on how in the zone I am. And I don't think that's strong enough for a 15, and I don't want to put a burden on my party. So I'm taking a step back to go ahead and take time to do things slowly. PvP, a lot of fun. No people have been complaining that there are too many OP abilities, there's bugs in certain things, and it's not making the experience fun. But me personally, I like going into a PvP match. I like seeing the damage that I'm doing being the actual damage that's applied to the player I'm playing against, and the better person wins. And that, to me, it makes for a fantastic PvP experience. So I'm back in PvP full throttle. I'm using my Hunter for PvP, and I'm using my Demon Hunter for PvP. So there's a double Hunter meta right there. Anyway, Death Knight, I will play it a little bit because there are some items that I'm looking for offset things, but it's not a primary focus. That's strictly PvP character, excuse me, that is strictly a PvE character where I'm going out of my way to do raids and high Mythic Plus on, and that'll be fine for quite a while. A lot of people also seem to be thinking that this is a very melee unfriendly expansion. I don't think so. I think that the mechanics that they've added, especially in Mythic Plus, are new and more punishing towards melee just because of how they function. To kind of explain these thoughts a little bit better, so you have the affixes that are out this week, which spawns a little ad that will chase you, and if it hits you, it slaps for a lot of damage. When that initially came out, it seemed to be a super major time waster. It would wipe people in melee, kill them. I died to them many times without realizing what was going on. I didn't even realize until the 7th day of the cycle that they could be CC'd and then they expire on a timer. I don't even have to do any damage to them whatsoever. I wasted a whole week getting blown up in keys, not timing things, because I was fighting these stupid ads and just wasting time. And my whole group was doing it, and nobody came to the realization that there was a timer on these things. Now that it's back around, I've been pushing keys all week, no issues. But they pop up, pull them back, slow them with my chains, move on to the next mob pack. Give them a little asphyxiate. There's no reason to worry about them whatsoever. They're easy thing to deal with. Just about learning. You gotta take the time. You gotta look at the resources that we have out there. Mythic Trap, great website, has tons of information. Mythic Dungeon Tools, tons of information. There's a lot of Discord servers. There's a lot of high key pushers. There's even, mid-tier and low-tier key pushers that have a lot of decent information on these things that you can look at. Just go find a stream, launch somebody, ask questions. Hey, I'm having trouble dealing with this. Jump in and ask them, hey, how are you dealing with it? I'm having an issue. They'll be happy to explain what they know. Is it always going to be the right information? Maybe, maybe not. But it's worth checking out. So go ahead, go explore. Learn something about the game. Don't just read a tooltip. See what other players are doing. I mean, you're here watching this video right now, so that must mean that you're interested in learning a little something. So other than that, PvP, PvE, both been fantastic experiences. The raid, oh my god, this raid. So, first of all, we had huge heads going into this raid. We thought we'd be downing Heroic in a week, and then moving on to Mythic. That is definitely not what Blizzard's intentions were. This is a hard raid. And it's not a hard raid because it has shitty, cheesy mechanics. It's a hard raid because it has things that you need to learn to do better, which makes it a fantastic raid. Because the more accustomed to things, the easier the raid gets, and the more fun you're having. There are fights which take simple concepts. Like, let's talk about Lady Enerva for a minute. Simple geometry, make a triangle in the Heroic. So many people were dying to that. And it's a simple concept, just make a shape. But people didn't understand. Did the balls have to be in the shape? Did the lines have to create shape? Did you have to be at the connecting point on top of the balls? And then there was wipe upon wipe upon wipe upon wipe. And it was just not really understanding the mechanic. But now that you know it, it's easy. You just make a triangle. Done. In Mythic, you're connecting 4 dots. So you're making a really big triangle with weird angles. Like, this is stuff you learned in grade school. Either way, it's a lot of fun. Sludge Fist was a fantastic wall if you watched the Race to World First. It had some fun mechanics there. It makes your melee and your range groups really build some cohesion. You have to move like an absolute unit, and it's great. I love that fight. I know a lot of people who are like, oh god, that fight was so bad, oh, so bland. And no, it's fun. It's a great DPS check. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of in and out that you need to do. Keeping your rotation acting a little bit different as a melee, so that you have to maximize using both ranged abilities and your melee abilities that you have in order to keep things up. There's a lot going on. Your resource management must be on point, and the better you are at things like that, the more fine-tuned you're going to become as a player. So it's one of those fights that pushes you to become better. Every time we hit Sludge Fist, I got a little bit better. I understood my rotation a little bit stronger. I knew, hold this, don't hold that, use this now. This is going to come up, and you're going to need that. So if you invest the time in understanding, instead of just waiting for gear to carry you through that fight, it'll make you a lot better player. And that is definitely the sign of a great fight. Any fight that teaches you to be a better player at the game is amazing. Now, there are some fights where they don't really teach you how to be better. Like, let's talk about the dance. The dance fight is just a gimmicky mechanic. Blizzard themselves said that they came out and said it's not that great of a fight. It wasn't exactly how they wanted it to come out. But at the end of the day, if you figure out what combination of kill order that you have to go through that works for your guild or your pug, then you'll have no problem on it. So it's one that takes a little bit of forethought, a little bit of reflection as you go through the fight. The dance mechanic is just the dance mechanic. I mean, it's gimmicky, it's kind of fun. We joke a lot on stream while we're doing it. It's never anything that's too serious. It could be better. It could have been, more intuitive-ish instead of just your characters moving. Like, maybe you could have actually had to do some emotes or something, but I mean, either way, it's not a bad fight. There is really no bad fight. Sun King is just a fight where you have to manage things differently. This is turning into a review of the entire raid, which is not what I'm looking to do right now. So we'll stop right now. It's a great raid. Fantastic first go. I've loved every bit of it. Sire fight is absolutely fantastic. The changes they made to Stone Legion General made it more of a pain in the ass, but other than that, great. Everything about the raid has been great. So, superb job. The dungeons themselves, they have some pitfalls, some are better than others. It seems to be that there's consistently one dungeon that's always good to do, no matter what the week is, and one dungeon that is always bad to do, no matter what the week is. That's, if you look at the completion and fail logs on a site like Warcraft Logs, you can figure out which those two are. For me, it's the exact opposite of the two. The easy one is the one that I have the most trouble with, and the hard one is the one I have the least trouble with. So go figure. I don't know what to say. Overall, though, I've liked the dungeons. They have been a lot of fun, and I have thoroughly enjoyed them. And I look forward to pushing them higher and higher, especially once I get my proper weapon. So, sky's the limit there. Anyway, that said, I really like Shadowlands. I will rate this expansion so far as a 10 out of 10. Regarding content that's coming up on the channel, by the end of next week, we shall have our guide video for Vengeance Demon Hunter and Marksmanship Hunter. They are a little bit different than other guides you've seen because they do take the PvP aspect into account more than the PvE and the possibility of switching between tank and DPS, or between the three DPS specs on hunters. So it'll be a little bit different than if you're just searching out there looking for what the BIS one is. I'm going to give you a presentation that's not based solely on what is BIS in the moment, but what I think is going to be BIS overall in the expansion period for those two. That said, thank you for watching the video. I'm glad that everyone's here. I'm so happy for every member of my community that I have so far. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for helping me throughout the end of last year when I decided to start going down on this journey. I hope that we are doing this for years and years to come. Thank you for watching. Stay deleting. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any questions, toss them down below. I'm always answering. So, take care, everybody. Happy gaming.